half, obviously you got to play the whole game. And I thought, the white team did a nice job of working their way back into it, kind of inching their way back into it and creating their own momentum. But, it was great to have the crowd here, the Peppas, the dance team, the cheer team. I mean, we have a great setup here. We're really lucky.
Coach, it felt like you guys have a lot of length and height and really help each other out with team rebounding. Is that something you've emphasized in practice?
It's always an emphasis for us. We have certain guys that we describe as crash guys, that go to the glass. Everybody defensive rebounds, but from an offensive perspective, certain guys are tasked with hitting the offensive glass, and others are what we call get-back guys. They protect our basket. And I thought the guys did a nice job giving effort there.
Ryan, what were you thinking with the composition of the teams? What matchups did you want to see? What guys did you want to see play together?
Not really about the matchups. We only have but so many guys, right? We have now 12 with Obi going on scholarship, and Connor, my son, as well. That's the full roster there. So not a ton of subs. It's hard to play that way. That's why we played the 6-minute, quarters to give them a little bit of break. Rarely are you playing that long. There's somebody that's probably subbing in for you. And I thought the guys, did a really nice job. But in particular with the matchups, we had one scrimmage in Greece, and this is the exact way that we broke them up. Okay. And then when we came back from Greece, and actually the black team won that game. We came back from Greece, we had a rematch, and the white team won it. Okay. And so this was the rubber match.
And Coach, for the offseason and what have you, what is one of the key attributes that you're really impressed about this team going forward?
Yeah, their willingness to learn and listen, and give all they have, for their teammates. Their willingness to engage and get to know one another. We have a lot of new faces, and to all of a sudden, try to put all that together. I feel like everybody's done a great job of just really working well with one another, getting to know one another, not only on the court, because there's a lot of different ways you get to know people, right? Certainly in basketball, it's on the court. It's also in the film room. It's individual film sessions with coaches. It's hanging out with your teammates, in the apartments. It's going to dinners. We were fortunate enough to be able to go to Greece, and experience that. And I think everything that we've, given this particular group so far, and obviously it's extremely early in the season right now. We haven't played a game yet. They've answered, and we've been really impressed.
Were you impressed with the newcomers being the lead scorer, particularly Joe with 22 points?
Joe's a veteran.
17 points.
Yeah, Joe's a veteran. We know Joe can score. That's one of the reasons he's here, right? He can really score the basketball. Got off to a really hot start. We've seen it in practice, a bunch already. And the guys know he's really talented in terms of putting the ball in the basket, and can really shoot, from behind the arc. But that's not all he does. So yeah, he had a nice day.
3-point shooting, black team 57%, white team 40%. What did you see in terms of ball movement?
Yeah, especially in the second half, it was much better, right? White team, they got off to a really slow start. Turnovers, were a problem. And then they settled in for about the last 4 minutes of the half and gave themselves a chance just to get it within a working margin, down 9 or whatever they were at half, 8 maybe, I can't remember. And then they just got back in it. But the ball movement was good. The pick and roll offense was good. They began to share it, and they got some clean looks. The key is you have to knock them down, though.
Coach, you just talked a little bit about Joe Bamisile. He was my game MVP, scored well, a lot of energy on defense. Is he that dominant during practice?
Yeah, he has moments like that for sure. I can't really tell you that any one guy is that dominant all the time. I think we just have a good collection of players, and sometimes it's going to be Joe, and obviously, hopefully, he can be with us for the entire year. We'll find out, on that soon enough. But we've got other guys that can really put the ball in the basket too. So we just have to keep working at it and keep getting better.
Kwani and Jason really shot it well. Anyone individually that really stood out to you that you're particularly proud of?
Yeah, I look at the totality of it, so it's hard for me to look at one player and say. I look at the positions, and how did they play? Were they comfortable out there? And for the most part, I was really proud of all the guys. You know, they were competitive. You know, this wasn't an all-star game. Like, they were trying to win, and the coaches were trying to win, and they were trying to execute. And, you know, I thought Firm and Rose did a good job, you know, 'cause they battle one another every single day. They don't get to mix and match who they play against. They're always guarding one another. Max and Sean, you know, they're used to playing together all the time at Utah State. Now, in that particular game, they were playing against one another. It's tough. They're both good players, you know. Same thing with Joe and Fats. And I thought Michael and Kwani, you know, had good moments. Jay Nell really handled the ball great. You know, he did an awesome job. And so I was really impressed.
Anything else, guys?